Hey guys, as you know, water is super important in the house, not only to bathe with, to drink, do everything within the house, wash clothes. It's also important when you have a farm and you're trying to grow gardens, like vegetables, that kind of stuff, as well as you have, chickens, ducks, geese, goats, as well as, trees and stuff as well. It is super important. Well, we live in an area where water situation is not the best. And we use a ton of it, especially when we got ducks that need a pond. So we need a lot of water all the time, not only to help us survive, but to help our animals survive. And especially we live in the high desert of California. Here in Southern California, the temps here get pretty high in the summer. Now the problem with where we live here in Southern California is twofold. One is geography based and one is, call it culturally based right now. So geography wise, where we live, there's a huge granite shelf because we're kind of on like the top of the high desert here. And so there's a huge granite shelf that's right underneath us in this area. And unfortunately, that means that water seeps through at a very slow rate. So our well usually does pretty good, but certain times with certain factors we'll talk about in a second can really affect it. And the big one is, hey, we're in a drought right now. So here in California, everybody is having water issues, and that's a multifaceted problem that we don't have time for, and I don't even understand completely. But the real big factor that's a huge issue, especially during the summertime, is gonna be marijuana. Now, whether you agree with marijuana being legal or not, that's not the question here. Unfortunately, it's the illegal marijuana farmers that are still working out here that are a huge problem for not only the county, the residents, but especially people that are on wells like us. Because what that means is during the summertime, when it's growing season for marijuana, right about now, June, July timeframe, they use a ton of water with unregistered wells that pull way too much water to feed a water-hungry crop like marijuana is. And so people who have houses that rely on that well water, like us, face the brunt of the problem and get less water. Now, when we moved in here, we had one water storage tank with our well that holds about 2,500 gallons. So we tried to help the situation with a second tank that holds 2,500 gallons, and we also have one in the back that holds about 800. Problem is, when weed farmers are in full effect, it really drops that water table. And then when you do things like accidentally leave drip system on, or it malfunctions like has happened recently, we lose all our water and it has problem regenerating. And unfortunately that leads to the problem that we had today. We woke up and we're trying to refresh the water in our chicken area and in our duck area as well as our goat area. And guess what? Super low water pressure, which, can happen on a well for various reasons. So I went over to check our water levels and it was bone dry, which is never a good problem to have on a well that not only feeds your animals, but also your house. No showers, no drinking water, no washing the clothes, no washing the dishes. It's a huge problem. Now, we could pay someone to come out here, and it gets expensive when you do things like run out of water all the time, especially if it's for things that you did on accident, like leaving drip systems on or installing a drip system that malfunctions all the time for whatever reason. I still have no idea. We thought it was like power outages or something, and that causes the thing to malfunction, but we didn't have those and it still malfunctioned. So I have no idea. So really the only real big solution is to go and get water filled. So thankfully we have a 300 gallon transfer tank that's on a trailer that we can pull with our truck. And there's basically a water tap that a local plumbing supply store, G.A. Osborne if he needs one and you're in the local area, has provided to the community, which is a huge help because you can go get, our 300 gallon tank filled in about 15 minutes. Presents yet another problem in this area. And that problem is actually the same one as before, the weed farmers. I know, you've seen the common trend here and why I have an issue with marijuana. Not that I have an issue against marijuana, I've never done it and don't plan on doing it, but don't steal our water. Holy cow. How frustrating is it that you can't take a shower or bathe your kids just because you want to grow your weed crop illegally here? Like, have some common decency. I guess they don't, that's why they're illegally growing it. So, anywho, the problem is that the weed farmers take advantage of these super nice people who provide this free water to the community to make sure that everyone has water. So you go to fill up your tank at this water pump and there's a line of weed farmers at this tank, and they're filling up 3, 4, 5, I've even seen 8 of these totes or transfer tanks to go back and feed their farm of marijuana plants. I'm not profiling or anything like that. I know they're weed farmers because they smell like weed, and you only reek like weed like that, not if you're smoking it or anything else like that, but because you're cultivating it. So unfortunately, it's a huge problem. You can't arrest them. G.A. Osborne's not gonna do anything because they're too super nice and they don't want to discriminate or anything else like that, so they just let them be, and unfortunately, we get the brunt of it. Can you tell that I get a little frustrated and a little upset at this? and that's because I do, unfortunately. Really, the solution that we have right now is we just got to go at the right time, and thankfully we have a decent truck that can pull, you know, a decent amount of weight even in the middle of the day. And thankfully the weed farmers' trucks are old and beat up, and they can't drive, you know, thousands of gallons of water during the day. So I end up spending 3 hours of my Sunday afternoon that I have off going and getting 900 gallons of water, which is what I just got done doing, and why I'm so heated, because I just wasted hours of my life because of marijuana. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is or whatever is going to happen because of that. I know that thankfully the county is trying to do their best and trying to help eradicate some of these illegal farms that are taking our water and our resources from this godforsaken state. And I say that not lightly. I have so many issues with this state, it's not even a joke. But at least right now, I'm thankful that we have water, that we have the resources to be able to go and get water for a house, to provide for our animals and make sure everyone is cool, hydrated, and clean. So that was my Sunday. So with all that being said, I am gonna get out of this hot weather because it's hot out here. And I'm gonna go enjoy some salmon that I smoked in our Pit Boss pellet smoker. That's another definite must that you've gotta have. So we'll have a like an unboxing and setup video if you guys are looking at those, and that'll be coming out in the next couple weeks. And if you're looking for one, we'll put the description, the link in the description, so you can get one for yourself. But that thing is awesome. We cooked up about $30 worth of salmon. It was 4 huge fillets basically, and that thing will last us for a while. The great part is it's not necessarily for eating warm. Well, you can do that, but I love bagels and lox. So I'm gonna have some freshly smoked salmon on my bagel with cream cheese tomorrow, and it'll be just amazing. So thanks guys for joining us. Make sure to subscribe below if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to be notified when our videos do come out each week, and give us a nice thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video, and comment to share what you guys are dealing with and any problems, or if you guys have a well and have issues, or even if it works great. I'd be interested to see what you guys thoughts on these issues, on wells, on weed, and all that stuff. So thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.